We're here
Yes, we are. We're here in a car park.
at Terminal 3
Yeah, at Heathrow.
because we're about to leap on a plane in order to go to Poland, Krakow, to go and see.
Do various things.
Yeah, including a trip to Auschwitz, which is something that we do want to do. But probably a pilgrimage because we're not.
Yeah, a homage, a commemoration, paying respects, something everybody should do, but isn't something that's celebratory.
Now, the reason why we're doing this by flying is because I can't get the extra days off work. I mean, you could have gone there by caravan, could have driven all the way across through Italy, and it would have been quite an adventure. But we're only doing a long weekend, really, to go and see those sites, and also the city of Krakow, which apparently is really nice as well. So that's why we're going. But next stage, come with us.
Just in case you'd like to visit at any time.
Well, the UK end was fairly easy, and landing in Poland wasn't too long either. But Brexit has caused a bit of a queue. You can't see here, but the EU machines were empty. Now, the airport itself is about half an hour away from Krakow, and as you can see on our map there, the green section just around the word Krakow there is actually the old town area, and our hotel, highlighted by the star, is right smack in the middle of it.
Well, here we are in our room, which is very oldie worldy. Seems to have, if you have a look, beams. Some kind of remains of old paintings or drawings of some kind. And here's the bathroom.
But overall, very good. This will certainly do us. And the Wi-Fi speed here is free and super fast, which is great for watching films. One little point to note is the fact that you're going to need a VPN of some sort in order to be able to watch UK-based apps in foreign countries. For example, BBC iPlayer. I'm coming.
Yeah.
Morning.
Well, here we are in our monastic room in Krakow with the frescoes on the ceiling.
Monastic.
Yeah.
Oh, it's owned by the church, isn't it?
Yes, it's owned by the Dominican order, and what you can't see is, because it's not the view out of that window, is we're right next to a massive Dominican church. So the room feels quite churchy, doesn't it?
It does. This one's quite nice, I have to say.
It's nice, yeah.
In terms of hotels, this one, Sandy Hotel, is actually, I think it's a 4-star. It's pretty good.
It's small, so they've got a very small breakfast room. There are 2 little rooms. They seat about 12 people, don't they?
That's fine. And they don't have a bar. There's no even meals here because the place is flooded with restaurants outside, so what's the point?
Yeah, we are literally probably meters from loads and loads of restaurants and bars, and a McDonald's.
Yeah, well, of course.
Yeah.
Bound to be a McDonald's, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's on the corner just up the road. But anyway, enough's enough. So today is day number 1, and we're going to just go and have a little scout around and have a look.
Yeah, we met an English couple over breakfast. There do seem to be a few English people here. They tram hopped, it sounded like, didn't it?
Yeah, I found out a bit more about those. There's a tram stop not 50 yards away from the hotel, and there's a machine in there, and you buy tickets for, would you believe, minutes? So like an hour ticket you buy, and that is when you go inside you have to verify your ticket, and the last 4 digits are the time, and you've got your 60 minutes from that point if you buy a 60-minute ticket, or a 24-hour one, or a 3-day one, or whatever. So yeah, that's the plan, to go and have a go at one of those at some point.
Yeah, I think today we're just going to walk around and get a feel for where we are, which is in the old town part of Krakow, isn't it? We're on the edge of that area.
Before we do anything else.
We had the journey here was fine. It was a 2 and a bit hour flight, wasn't it? It was quite easy.
And just get yourself an Uber. So as soon as we got outside, book an Uber on your phone. It's already using your account details. We use our foreign exchange nationwide card, so that charges you Polish zloty.
Polish zloty, yeah.
But then that will just be converted back for with the best exchange rate you can have, which is next to nothing. Bank exchange rate.
Yeah, one little tip though, we booked an Uber, which was the sort of cheapest one, and the guy didn't turn up, did he?
Yeah. Yeah,
was
don't
with-
bother with that one. Bother
No.
the comfort one, the next one up, or the super duper ones. You know, there's several, but don't go for the bottom one. You wait 3 weeks,
Yeah.
or
Well,
not at all. In this
yeah,
case.
he didn't turn up at all. We waited like 20 minutes and his car hadn't moved. So in the end, we cancelled that, booked again, and the guy, it was a bit more expensive. The
3
guy
minutes
was 3
away.
minutes. He turned up,
Yeah.
and it was something like 74 zloty. So what's that? 20 quid?
5 to 1, yeah, more or less. Yeah.
About 20 quid. So in the end,
Cheap.
it turned out fine.
Yeah.
He knew exactly where the hotel was. It was easy to get here. Oh, one thing with the hotel here, it looked like it was closed, didn't it, Steve?
I think it looks like most of the places have closed doors and windows and things, so you can't really tell
That is
what
open.
they are.
So we got to the big wooden door, and I thought, well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. We're supposed to be here. So because we in the UK, we're not tuned into doing this. I just tried the door
In
to
the
open
Wi-Fi,
it and walked in, and we were in a lobby, and to the left was the reception and a guy who was very great English, and he was on all night, very helpful. So yeah, if you're in this part of the world and the hotel looks locked, just open the door.
As I say, there is a church across the road which owns this, and it does have a church bell. And guess what? At 6 o'clock this morning, that went off.
Yeah, Steve heard it. I didn't. I was snoring, so I didn't hear it at all. And literally, we are meters from it. But overall, so far, the hotel's fine. Breakfast was plenty of choice, wasn't it? Bit weird.
Why was it weird?
Cake. There was a lot. You could have chocolate cake and brownies.
And Prosecco. I mean, who
Prosecco
has
for
that
breakfast. I know. But
was
hey,
there.
yeah. But the cooked breakfast was fine.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There was a weird trolley bit in the middle.
Yeah. Well, you got your fruit and your yogurt
Yeah, all
and
the
your
usual
coffee, all of that, and you could order your English
chocolate
breakfast.
cake.
But chocolate cake, I thought.
Prosecco.
Didn't see anyone eating it though, did you?
No, but you could start your day
Yeah,
off with,
you could with
you
a
know.
ton of sugar. Not good for you. But
See
here
you
we go.
later.
Yeah.
Now, Krakow itself is actually quite big, but the old town bit, which is the bit you can see which is surrounded by a park, which is actually that green bit in the middle, is where our hotel is. And for example, the Schindler factory that we plan on visiting is walkable, but it's a good half an hour on the other side of that river. However, if we zoom in a little bit, that arrow is pointing at our hotel, which is more or less in the middle. And as you can see, there are lots of tourist things, being a tourist map, to go and see. And as you can see, one of those is 25. So needless to say, we spent a couple of days just walking around seeing the sights. So this is the street, and our hotel's at the end of this. And then if you spin round, look, we like a market. That's handy. It turns out that this was mostly food-based. Having said that, though, and as seen on The Apprentice just recently, bubble tea, look. Now, you know how you always see something weird, right, when you're looking around a market stall? If you look over my left shoulder, you'll see something called a castrator. And so, if you recall, the whole area, Old Town area, is surrounded by a park. So, yeah, I know it's not quite the same park as we would know and love the park, but there are some interesting bits within this as well.
So how's this for an odd sign? In the park, lots of things you can't do, but blow a trumpet? Strange.
So, this is a rather big sign, but it looks like the town square, if you like, is that way.
This way.
Right, let's go and take a wander. Oh, look at that, the tram. There'll be lots of those. Well, It's all right for us Brits, those that can't speak Polish. Thankfully, a lot of the signs are in English. So a railway station, let's head that way.
We also headed off to a shopping arcade we were told was nearby and saw some of the sights, including donuts. Once in the shopping mall, we saw something green and we just had to try it. Not sure.
Does the cake taste nice?
The cake is weird. It's like
What's bound to be weird? The whole thing's green.
Yeah.
Is it whole cake?
Pretty tasteless with a lump of jelly on the top.
Okay.
Cake was all right. Jelly was. This is like lukewarm hot milk with a slight subtle hint of dirt.
Have you ever seen a vending machine like this? Look, it's got flowers in it. Oh, a bouquet of flowers. Number 2. Didn't tell you how much they are though, I suppose. Not until you pay for it. Anyway. And once you've done that, see the Barbican, that's one end, and that's the city wall. And the gate. And then when you come through that gate down the bottom, look, gate tower. And then you got this guy flocking his wares. I wonder how long it took him to put that lot up.
Now I think this is a lovely statue of Hermes, and all around here is amazing architecture, but we decided to take the main street down to the main attraction, which actually is called Main Square in Kracow, with this wonderful building known as the Cloth Hall, which has a lovely market inside. There's no doubt this is the main tourist area. The whole square is surrounded by places to eat, tourist guides, and horses and carts that you can hire and have a tour of the city, the main city, or the outskirts. Okay, so this is the town hall. Look up with the tower. But if you read the blurb, which is there.
Oh, another one of them statue
that's
things.
what it would have looked like originally. The tower bit is the only bit that was left. It was demolished by the Austrians. And the tower is the only bit that's left. And now we'll give you a flavour of some of the quirky things we saw on our very slow walk towards the river, where we wanted to take a cruise or a boat trip. Here's a real flavour of Kracow.
And we did find that boat trip, roughly 20 quid per person. But luckily for us, on the left hand side gives a bit of a bearing, Fabrica de Schindler. So that's where that is then. So there's our trusty chariot. As you can see, not a lot of people on there. It was really one for us. I have no idea why there's a homage to a pig upside down. Now, Kracow itself is a very interesting place. In fact, it's a very beautiful city, and you would not go wrong by having probably a long weekend just to see the sights here. Definitely different. I've never seen the build a bridge.
It's not built in keeping with the surrounding architecture.
Well, you don't know what it's going to end up looking like, I suppose. But the next 2 days are the reason why we're here, and I'm glad we did it in this order. So we went to Schindler's factory first in order to find out all about the history about this particular area and what he did and why he did it. and then to go to see Auschwitz. And that's what the next vlog will be about. So, please like, subscribe, and hit that little bell, and we'll see you on the next vlog.